Now I'd like to welcome Nicole Napoltonia, VP of Alliances at Barracuda, who's here to explain how Barracuda has doubled down on marketplaces as a revenue channel.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what Barracuda is doing. So I wanted to give a little bit of background on the company itself. Sorry, I think I'm having some video issues. I'm trying to advance the slides. Apologies, I don't know, am I able to be heard? My video appears to glitch.
We can hear you and see your slides.
Okay, are you seeing the second slide with the agenda?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So I was going to talk a little bit about, just for context, who Barracuda is, and then, sorry, it's going in and out for me. A little bit about our journey to cloud, to talk about how we are meeting the customers where they are. That has really translated for us into this digital customer experience that we're driving, and marketplace is a huge delivery mechanism for that. And then really just a summary of what that means from Barracuda's standpoint to be doubling down to drive growth and revenue through marketplaces. So just a little on who we are. Barracuda is a cybersecurity company, and we protect customers for life. So we strive to deliver our solutions that are easy to deploy and use. So all of that really sort of continues to sort of zoom in and double click on this digital experience, making it very easy for customers. We're about 20 years old. We were born in 2002. During that time, we've acquired over 200,000 customers. And we have two main product families. If you think about the customer or the user being in the center, we've got a whole suite of, or set rather, of security solutions that surround the customer. So we've got email protection that really protects against ransomware. It helps customers back email, archive email, make sure that if a disaster, they can recover. And then we've got another product family, which is around data, network, and application security. We're a global company, so the customers we've acquired are all over the world. We happen to be privately held. We actually just were announced an acquisition by the second PE firm. We will be shifting from owned by Thoma Bravo to KKR in the coming weeks. We have 30 offices around the world and 1,400 employees, just to give you an idea of our size. And then we really value partnerships. We are a partner channel-led company. I personally focus on our strategic partnerships with the hyperscale partners like Microsoft, AWS, Google. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really about the customer. And for us, our obsession around the customer and putting them at the center of everything we do is going to hopefully permeate through what we talk about today. So just a little detail about our journey to cloud. Today, we really think about three pillars. One is, the first rather, is building great solutions on the cloud platforms. So depending on the solution, we'll choose the right platform for the product. The products, whether they were legacy products that are moving to cloud and modernizing on cloud, or whether there are new innovation and security solutions that we're building from scratch, you know, the way that we build those on the platforms, leveraging not just the platform, but the native services, working with the services teams at AWS and Amazon and Google, for example, to really make sure that not only are we building something unique that solves a customer problem, but that we're also doing that in a way that removes friction for the user, and that is really modernized to deploy and drive to the use case. So once you've done that, you've got this great thing and we're innovating. We want to make sure that we market and take those to market in a way that's meaningful and applicable. So just as an example, example, if a customer is going to use our solution on Azure, we want to make sure that it's in the Azure Marketplace, for example, or if they're using on AWS, the same thing, having it in the AWS Marketplace. We want to make sure that not only is the messaging resonating, so we're talking about how and why we built this interesting and innovative thing on the platform, but we want to make sure that it's also, from a go-to-market perspective, put in the path of the partner. And a lot of that has started this digital experience. The third pillar is really around selling. So you've got this great thing, you're taking it to market in a meaningful way and putting it where people can find it. So the last sort of mile is around sales, where the rubber meets the road, making sure that we're working with the hyperscale sales teams, making sure that they've got the information they need to not only recommend, but pull us in deals, making sure that we're leveraging the tools so that we can co-sell together, and making sure that when the customer is ready to purchase, whether they're doing that in a high touch or a low touch fashion, that we've removed the friction and we're making that a very meaningful experience. So that is sort of a vision of how we are doing things today. Ironically, one of the hardest parts sometimes is to drive that co-sell motion for ISVs, but that's actually where Barracuda started. So I've been on board Barracuda about 8 years. And prior to that, we had already started building traction from a co-sell perspective with Microsoft, AWS, and Google. And the way that we did that was really having solutions and being just appropriately timed, where the biggest blocker for companies small and large to move to cloud was often security. And so partners like Amazon required a security solution to help customers, to remove that blocker for customers and get them started on their journey. And so Barracuda, as I say, sort of had the right thing at the right time. We took some of our legacy solutions and we did just sort of port them over to cloud, and it didn't require a ton of innovation, but because we got in so early, that enabled us to really see what customers needed, and that is what's driven the innovation of today, whether it's on some of the solutions we had from the past or all of the new solutions we've released over the last couple of years and continue to do so. So if we pivot a little bit to talk about how that translates to this digital customer experience we talk a lot about, we're finding that buyers really want a consumerized experience. They want a B2C experience, but of course this is a B2B transaction. So how could you deliver something like that? Something that's easy, something that's one click, something that meets them where they are, all of those things. How can you do that? Well, marketplaces obviously are a very clear place to have that land. So customers are, we're finding that the majority of customers are buying third-party solutions like Barracuda's via the cloud marketplaces. We're also finding that the cloud marketplaces are providing incentives to customers to do so. 43% of customers are leveraging marketplaces, not just to buy third-party solutions, but they're using those purchases to really help buy them down for their commitments on the cloud platforms, which then gets them, better discounts and all of that. If you think about that, though, none of that really matters if it's not a great experience. So just as a statistic, 45% of B2B sellers have said that they've actually lost deals because the experience was not excellent. So even though you're sort of doing all these things, you have to make sure that the experience is a good one. And again, marketplaces have really helped Barracuda, ensure that the experience is good all the way from sort of discovering, trying, and buying. So I talked a little bit about meeting customers where they are. As we sort of look more deeply, we're really finding that they are wanting to buy through marketplaces for many reasons. You can see some of them here. These are the top reasons from Tackle's survey of why customers want to buy. And a lot of that is just expediting. So they've got the ability to not only buy the third-party solutions on marketplace, but sorry, things are jumping around a little bit, so I apologize. So customers are able to buy through marketplaces. They've got pre-approved contracts, so it's very easy for them. They're probably not putting credit cards down like they are in a consumer experience, but they do have a lot of pre-approved contracts, and they've got budgets approved and all that. So it does make it far easier for them to get started and get going on what they're ultimately trying to do. we're also finding that the marketplace providers are making it really easy. So, initially we had some barriers. When you went to marketplace, it was sort of whatever was listed was what you sort of had to try or buy. Now with private offers, all of that has been abstracted away, and we can create an order that and a transaction for a customer that has custom terms. It could have custom pricing. It could have really anything we want to customize to make sure that the customer is getting what they need in the way that they need it. And that is really, if you think about creating an excellent customer experience, that is really driving that. So again, if we think about how Barracuda's doubled down, we're in a growth phase. We are really looking to not just this digital experience, but to the marketplaces to help. But that really starts with our products evolving. They have all SaaSized. They are now being able to be delivered digitally. So let's take that digital experience from not just building the solutions, but all the way through the try and buy process. And making sure that we are also very aware that, it is a journey, not a destination. And so the more we can adapt and adopt, the better off we're going to be, and really able to meet those customers where they are and where they want to buy. And then I am sort of to the end of the content I'd prepared, but I did understand there could be questions. I just am not seeing. Oh, maybe I need to open the chat. Forgive me. Anyway, I've done a couple of these sessions before, and it's actually spawned and sparked some very interesting conversations. So if people want to follow up with me, I love talking about what other ISVs and channel partners are doing around the digital experience and meeting customers and marketplaces specifically. But if you have any questions now, I would love to answer them or talk about them, subjects to discuss. Well, I'm not sure that I'm seeing questions, but again, hopefully they'll distribute contact information so everybody can get in touch. I just wanted to send a thank you to anybody who's attended the session, but also to Tackle for bringing everybody together. I really, really love these events and activities and being a part of them. So thank you very much.
Oh, we do have a question. Can you talk about how you market within the marketplace? Well, it looks like that one will have to be a follow-up. All right, we have a 10-minute break. I encourage everyone to go check out the networking lounge, chat with other attendees, and earn points on the leaderboard. We'll see you back here on the How To stage at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. See you shortly.